Thank you very much, and welcome to Nelly TV 254. Thanks for the big support and the subscribers. We are still growing and we are moving well. Thank you very much for your support. Now today we have a family show, and ningependa kuwajulisha na kuwaintroduce hapa, ndio at least tuendelee mbele, tunaenda kusoma. We have a family life show yenye tunaenda kuelimisha watu so that we can see the challenges people are experiencing in marriage, how to bring up children. So hebu tuanzishe show, na niko hapa na familia moja mjini Nakuru, and is my friend, is a pastor, and I'm very happy to have him on the show today, na ningependa kumuintroduce lakini atamalizia hiyo introduction. Anaitwa Fred, Pastor Fred. So I think anaweza introduce, then tuintroduce wife. At least leo we have a couple wenye wameishi for long and they know, they have that experience. So have the mic.
Thank you so much, Nelly, and thank you viewers of Nelly TV 254. I'm glad to be part of the show today. My name, as you've heard, I'm Pastor Frederick Kauma, and we are serving here in Nakuru under a ministry called NBCC Nakuru, New Birth Covenant Church. And today on the show, I'm glad to be with my wife. I'll introduce her as Mrs. Mrs. Ruth Ouma, which is my surname, but her name is Ruth Achieng. We've been married for quite a long, because this is our 16th year, and in September we will be having our anniversary, I believe so, and we are blessed with 3 kids together, 3 girls, which are the eldest being in secondary school. She's in Form 3, and the middle one is in junior high school. She just got into grade 7. And then the youngest is in PP2. We have managed to survive the storms, and this far we're just grateful for God. Let me tell her to say hi, just to greet you as we continue the show.
Hi everyone who is watching. We thank God for this opportunity that we are here to encourage families, marriages, and even the youth. I think the show, when you go through it, you will learn something that will make you change the life of someone.
Okay, thank you very much, and we are going to start very, very fast. How long has this marriage been? Na how did it begin? Most of the friendship, wakati ilikuwa inaanza, ilianza aje? Hebu tuelezee na uelezee watazamaji.
Niseme au sema? You know, this thing called marriage is an adventure, and where it begins and where you find yourself heading, it goes as you learn something new. You learn each day. You learn to know each other. You learn to know the dynamics and how things evolve in life. So I met my dear wife way back in the year 2004. and it was towards the end of the year, and I was in town doing some errands, and I happened to source for services which she was offering in a place. She was it was a cyber cafe, and she was the one managing that place, and the services I needed was related to what she was doing there. So when I entered into that space in that office, the person I saw was not even the building or even anything around about that place. It was her. Until I almost forgot who took me there, because I believe she captivated my attention and my eyes. And I got to know her from that place before I said what I wanted. You know, there's a place you go and you say, I need this. But what captivated me was I needed to know her before telling her what I needed, what I needed from that place. And that's how I met her. And I'm glad from that day to date. Yeah, that is where we began. So it has been a long story. From there, one thing led to another, and we found ourselves, we were attending the same church, which was also a coincidence.
So you met in Kisumu or in Nakuru?
It was in Kisumu, and I was just fresh from the college, and I was working with a company called, it was under Kenya Pipeline, but I was under Shell group of companies. Now I went there to print something. It was to type. It was to be typed and then be printed. And she happened to be offering those services. That's where I met her, in Kisumu, within the CBD.
Okay, Madam, how long did that friendship lasted so that you can start your courtship? Ndio sasa mkaanza kukot na pastor.
Maybe correction. He has forgotten.
Yeah, wanaume usahau haraka.
It was in 2006.
Okay, 2006.
2006, and it was around early in the beginning of the year when he came to print a job card. He said printing, eh? Typing and printing.
Yeah.
It was printing a job card. I designed for him a job card.
Okay.
And when he came, he left me his ID. And that ID stayed there for almost, I don't know how long. He didn't come to pick it back.
Okay, so
He was just coming to check for the job. Is it job done? Is it job done? Not taking not the ID, not even ready to pick the work.
Okay, so I can see how it started.
Now the work stayed and ID card stayed until we started like knowing where I'm coming from. And when I was telling where I was coming from, it was not in my mind where you would like to know where I'm coming from.
Okay.
So I just told him jokingly, and I didn't lie about it. I told him where I am coming from. And that very day I told him where I'm coming from. I was not serious he will come at that place at that time.
So wewe ulimwambia akakuja baadaye.
Very day. I told him during the day, and in the same day in the evening he was there. Now that is how it started.
Okay, so you started your friendship now, one-on-one. Then after how long of that friendship did the courtship started now?
Even that friendship did go for long. It took a while. And then after that, he told me if he can introduce me to his family. And I asked him, where is the family? He told me, Mama is within the town. And then we just booked a date and a day. So we went to see the family, and his mom was there.
So it seems like it was a friendship. Then
Just immediately, because if that was around January, February when we met, and around March, April, we went to see
the family.
the family.
Okay. That was very fast.
That was very fast, and I remember that was very fast like that. And June on 1st, it was June on 1st. June on 1st, something like that. Was it June 1st? I think it was on a holiday.
May 1st.
It was June 1st, it was on a holiday, and on that day they were going to bury this musician who got an accident. Was called
Maybe you remember later.
he was not a gospel musician. I remember that day. He was going to be buried on that day, and everyone was on the road that day.
Musa Juma.
It was before that.
Okay,
So things went that fast.
Then this leads me to this question. After you started your friendship and then you courted for just some time.
For a few months.
Yeah. How did you plan for your? Did you had a wedding, or you just got married?
Before that, we found ourselves we are in the same church, though we didn't know each other.
The church was big.
The church was a big one. So you can say something about that part.
Okay. When we found that we were in the same church, we were both youths in the church there, and we wanted also to put things straight and let our leaders, our spiritual leaders, know. I happened personally. I didn't tell her. An incident happened that before we formalized, I must put it straight, even before God, before we formalized our marriage or staying as a wife and husband, I'd gone to an extent of inviting her to my place, which was a mistake in the first place. Now, something happened in between there that we had to go back and confess that to the church and before our youth pastor, who in turn took us to the senior pastor, who counseled us and said, for us to live as husband and wife, it must be officiated.
Okay.
That's what we were told. It must be officiated. We cannot cohabit. Actually, the term he used for us was cohabiting. And he gave us examples that there are those who have cohabited for so many years and they are calling it marriage. And he said, I'm not recognizing that until one is legally married and a vow is done on the altar, then people can now call so-and-so husband and wife.
Okay.
And we abided by that.
Okay, so I see now.
Yes.
I've seen the picture, and this is another question.
Yes.
For how long do you think a courtship should last? Yeah. Before this goes to those people who are still on courtship, they are not yet married, or they are planning to get married.
Yes.
So how long should that courtship last?
Okay.
Yeah.
On my side, before she says what she thinks of that, on my side, even the term courtship itself is, I think it's a period of knowing each other. And you know what happens in the courtroom. there are questions and answers. So it must be that way. Get to know the person that you're interested in, and later also ask questions about you. And I think by doing that, you're opening up to each other, and you'll be able to know much about her, and she'll know much about you. So that by the time you're settling down and getting married, you find now there are no question marks. Yeah, you know whom you are getting engaged to, you're getting married to, and you are ready to live with that person. Because I believe that's the meaning of courtship. And in that courtship period, I think it depends on how you're opening up to each other. You know, there are people that have secrets, so they live a life that they live a lie. They'll tell you the opposite of what they live.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're knowing it, it has taken 2, 3, 4 years. You be open to each other. If he or she is seeing someone else, or you are seeing someone else, then all this you're doing are leading nowhere. But if you've decided this is the person I want to settle down with, or I'm looking forward to settling down with, then you'll be open to each other. Get to know about their family, your family, background.
Yes.
You can say something. I'll hold.
And courtship.
To say something or to add on, in courtship, it will depend on both sides how long you will take. And you want to decide on yourselves. You want to take 5 months or 1 year or 2 years. Your openness to each other will lead you to say the period we have taken to in courtship is enough for us to enter into another level of marriage.
Yeah, I think that is the point that our viewers should know, that courtship is when now you are satisfied. So the period will only dictate when now both teams are satisfied.
Yes.
That now we know each other better, and now we can settle down now. Yeah. So another thing, now you are in marriage. What are the main challenges zenye watu wenye wamewana huwa wanapitia ama mmekuwa mkipitia? The main challenges in marriage. Yeah.
I'll begin and then she'll also have to say something and talk. For these 15 plus years that we've been together, the main barrier has been communication. Yeah, you find it's easier to work out things when you communicate. And it's easier also to solve problems that are there if you communicate. For example, I might be going through a challenge and I decide to keep quiet with it. You'll find I'll be hurting. And that will not be hurting me only, I'll be hurting the other person, my partner. And the major barrier in communication to some extent is when you have issues but you don't want to talk about them, you keep them in your heart. Or rather, you decide to take them elsewhere. You go and discuss with somebody, or that you open up to someone. So I believe when you learn to communicate, or that barrier of communication is not there, is removed, it will be easier for you and your partner, your wife, to solve issues and also get solution to problems and the challenges. Because if I talk about challenges are there. Yeah, utapata umekwazwa leo, kesho yake wewe umemkwaza, kesho ingine watoto nini. Sasa unaona issues will keep arising, but how you handle these issues will determine whether you be a barrier to your partner or you find a breakthrough in your life. You continue life. You can say something.
Challenges in marriage.
Challenges in marriage. He has talked about language barrier. That is there. There's another challenge. which is mostly affecting every family and everyone, our finances. Now when I talk about the one he has started with, the challenge barrier, that is when you enter into a marriage, there are things you expect of the person, or the way you started it from the beginning may not be the same way it will be when you are continuing in marriage. And then that will be also a challenge. It's like you're not understanding the person, or he has changed, or what's wrong with him or with her. And then openness. Maybe he has faced a challenge or a problem or something, or maybe I myself have annoyed him and he has not been open unto me and said, you've done this and this and this is not right unto me. And he has not told me that. And on his side, I've wronged him and he has taken his side. Now it will be so difficult on my side to know what's going on or what's wrong. Yeah? Now that will be a challenge. Yeah? And that may lead to another thing else which may affect both of us. And then when it comes to finances, that is the main challenge that affects everyone, both married, unmarried, everybody. And what I may say on finances, for those who are planning to enter into courtship or marriage, at least as a young youth or somebody, find something that will support you. Don't look at your papers that I've done this, I must have a job pertains to what I have done. Look for something that will sustain you, because as long as you want to enter into a marriage, you know that the family will be an extended family. That's one. Your family, you have to keep them and you have to provide for them. As long as you have become two, know it any time. The number of you will add. You will become two, you will become 3, 4, or even 5. And there are needs, basic needs that you have to settle in your family as a man, as a woman. What are you doing? Are you doing business? Are you doing a job? Create even yourself something to do that will earn you something to sustain your people. That is a very big challenge.
So I think now, so for those people who are not yet married, you have seen, and I even said it in another interview with my wife, this issue of finances is a very big challenge, and hatufai kuipuuza. There is no need ya kutoa msichana kwao then ukuje umtese. Work hard as a man, then upate msichana mwenye anajua kufanya kazi, and then at least you will be good to go. I think we are going to have a short commercial break, then we are going to head to part 2. Thank you.